Hey there, everyone. This is Certified High Performance Coach Michelle Weimer here with you today. Welcome to Wednesday Wisdom. Today we are talking about being free to be yourself. We just got done with the 4th of July here in the US, and it's all about freedom. And what happens, though, so often is our own lack of freedom comes from within. We don't always feel free to be ourselves. We don't always feel free to share our gifts or our thoughts, our own self expression with others because of either maybe societal, yes, thank you, Dean, glad you're here. Societal norms or expectations. Sometimes we feel like we have to fit into a mold or show up a certain way. Sometimes it's really just our own fear, though, that keeps us stuck in lack of our own self expression, lack of our own creativity, and fear of being ourselves. Fear that either comes from judgment, right? Think about that. How often have you not put yourself out there because you fear the judgment from others, or you fear criticism from other people? But think about this. How much of that criticism and judgment comes from you? I work with clients all the time, and I find is we're talking through this is like they're their own worst critic. And you can maybe relate to that. Like maybe you are your own worst critic. And if that's the case, now's your time, right? Now's the time to free yourself from that criticism, free yourself from that judgment, and really free yourself to give, to show up as yourself, to have your own self expression, your own creativity expressed. Because the truth is, the world needs all of us to express ourselves, to share our gifts with the world. So, I have a group of colleagues that I work with, and all of us do videos like this, and many of my clients actually are challenging themselves to come out and do videos. And I get it. Like, it takes a certain amount of vulnerability to put yourself out there, right? Like, wow, it's hard to just open up and be vulnerable because we don't know what people are going to think or what people are going to say. But again, people need to hear us. People need to have leaders and have others who influence them and who are sharing their gifts, because if you're someone who is in that position, if you are someone who comes from a place of service, who wants to help others be their best, who is a leader or an influencer, and you're not freely giving your gifts out there, you're not freely self-expressing or sharing yourself because you're afraid and you're hiding and you're not letting your light shine, people are missing out on that gift. And that's really unfortunate. So I've got someone piping in with a question. How do I manage it? It's a great question because it is hard. It is so, so hard when that voice is in your head telling you it's not good enough, or don't share, don't show them who you really are. What if they don't like you? What if, it comes out bad? What if? Like, that can eat us up. So how do you manage it? Well, first and foremost, you got to quiet the inner critic, right? Quiet the inner critic. And that might look something like, for you, getting support, getting someone to help you find your voice and get clarity about how you can share yourself. It may look like working on your own courage, right? Because again, not only does it take vulnerability to be yourself, but it takes courage to be vulnerable in that place. So maybe looking at how you can be most courageous, if that means practicing showing up as your best self. Maybe it's little steps, maybe it's tiny steps. Like, for example, an easy way to talk about self-expression might be like in how, what you wear, the clothes you wear, and how you show up there. I am someone, actually, this color that I have on today, this is not really me. I usually wear pretty bland, drab colors, right? So expressing yourself by what you wear and how you look, not being afraid to voice your opinion in, of course, a kind manner. We're not out to always disagree with other people, but where it's important to be yourself. It's important to voice your own opinions. So how do you do that? Be brave, be courageous, quiet the inner critic so that that judgment that comes up. And here's the thing, if you are saying in your own mind like, oh, people are, probably gonna judge me, or they're probably gonna think I'm this, or they're gonna assume that about me, check yourself there, because usually that assumption about what others are going to think about us is a reflection of some of our own beliefs. And usually what comes up is like, I'm not enough. I feel like I'm not enough. I feel like who I am as just being myself isn't okay or isn't good enough. And so that's getting into that root belief. When you can move through that and move past that, and it starts with awareness, right? It starts with identifying those root beliefs. Then you can start to work through, and again, maybe that means getting support from someone. Maybe it's a friend or an accountability partner. Maybe it's a coach or someone who can help you get the clarity that you need to really embrace your own self-expression. I had an experience recently where I was talking about how, my home is comfortable, my clothes are comfortable, like things are just comfortable for me. But what I recognized is that's part of who I am. I also make others feel comfortable. And my daughters, they have friends over all the time. Everybody likes to come to our house because it's comfortable. And I thought, wow, even without me realizing it, it was an expression and an extension of who I am in not only being comfortable in my environment, in who I am, and in how I make others feel. And that was really kind of a cool thing. That's because that's part of my own self-expression. So get some clarity about who you are and how you want to show up. And here's the thing. Self-acceptance is huge in recognizing where you are. And even if you're like, hey, I'm not quite satisfied there, that's okay. That's where growth comes in. That's where setting your sights on, I want to show up and be braver. So maybe I have to act as if until I am. And as long as you don't lose yourself in pretending always to be somebody that you're not, it's okay. It's okay, because the more you practice those skills, the more you practice those character traits that we've been talking about all month long of how you want to be and how you want to show up, the more you start to step into that, and then that does become a part of who you are. So I want to challenge you this week to really step into being your best true you, taking a look at what that means for you. Who are you when you're being your best self? How can you practice that more often? And how can you free yourself to be who you really, truly desire to be? When you can do that, and when you can start sharing those gifts with the rest of the world, trust me, it's an amazing experience. And those people that you touch, those people who you share yourself with, are always changed and transformed by it. And that is a beautiful thing. So I want to challenge you all again this week. Self-acceptance, bravery and courage, getting support to really get clear about who you are and how you want to show up in this world, the gifts that you have to share. And guys, it's time to stop hiding. It's time to step into that, challenge yourself to let your light shine brightly. And I hope that you will continue to join me as I shine my light and share with you my thoughts each week during Wednesday Wisdom. And next week, you're going to love our topic. It's a continuation of what we've been talking about all month, about how you can really step into your personality and owning your character traits and being that best version of yourself. So join me again here next Wednesday for some Wednesday Wisdom, and thank you for joining me today. Again, this is Certified High Performance Coach Michelle Weimer, and goodbye for now.